It is about the time that most people start giving up on the New Year's resolutions because the New Year magic is sort of going away a little bit and we feel a little discouraged because we've set all these great goals for ourselves and maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you feel defeated. But today I'm making a little video for you so that you can actually reinvent yourself in 2025 and get to your goals and become the person that you want to become. The thing is that we are an accumulation of what we do consistently. This is why our habits are super important. And what we're going to do is that we're going to go in detail into every area of your life so that we can actually tweak it and make the necessary adjustments so you can get to where you want to go by the end of this year. First, we start with the mind. Your mental habits are number one because your thoughts create your reality. And to explain to you this concept, what you constantly think about dictates the way that you feel inside, the words that you use, the actions that you take. So it's really important to change our mind if we don't want to be the same person that we've been. Because if you are carrying with you your same mentality of 2024 into this year, it is inevitable that you're going to be the same person of the past and you're going to keep creating the same reality over and over again. The main area that I see people stuck in is the habit of complaining, the habit of blaming, the habit of frustration, the habit of worrying, and just thinking of the worst case scenarios consistently, which is why I think it's super important that if you're starting to change your mindset, you start to become aware of the times that you are constantly just complaining for no reason. If you are a complainer, stop this habit. You need to learn how to be grateful. You cannot attract good things to you if you're constantly looking for the negative of everything, because that means that your vision is filtered by everything that's wrong and you don't see possibilities and you don't see hope. So start practicing gratitude if that is something that you can do right now. Like I said, a lot of people also spend time worrying and doubting consistently, to the point that they are always thinking of what is the worst thing that could happen to me. And when you're constantly giving your thoughts and your attention to what could go wrong, you are inevitably going to be attracting that into your life. You need to constantly think of possibilities. You need to be hopeful as a person, because if you're not hopeful, how can you create anything new? Everything that is around us has come from an idea. Everything starts in our imagination. This camera started because someone imagined it. This computer that you're using or your cell phone, it was in someone's mind before they could even design the whole concept of it, the whole mechanics of it, and then bring it to life. So it's important that you're giving your mind to advancement. You are not thinking of things that have set you back in the past. You are not thinking of how the future could go wrong. You are really present and constantly thinking of how your life can get better. It's also important that your mind is not a blaming and victimized mind, because, of course, there are people that sometimes treat us bad. Of course, sometimes bad things happen in this world, but you cannot be thinking that you are powerless. You have to be focused on what is in front of you, what it is that you can do to improve your life. Because if you are constantly focused on how other people are bringing you back, there is no space for you to think for possibilities. There is no space for you to have new ideas, and there is no space for you to create a new reality. So bring back your energy to you. Bring back your energy to what is within your power constantly. If you feel powerless, sometimes go meditate and think about, what can I do right now? If something is not within my power, what is? What is within my power? What can I control? What can I do to get myself out of this situation? Because when you start thinking, your mind starts coming up with ideas, but you have to guide it first. You cannot allow your mind to run on autopilot on the negativity of the world, because then you're going to be living like most people who don't accomplish their goals and who are constantly worrying and complaining and blaming the world for the state of their reality. That pretty much on its own is a huge mental cleanse. If you're able to stop those negative little habits from constantly occurring in your mind, you will be inevitably ahead of the curve. But of course, like I said, it's really important to get clear on your goals as well. So have you taken the time to really think about what it is that you want by the end of 2025? Have you thought about the person that you want to become? Because if you haven't taken the time, I encourage you to pause this video and ask yourself, what is the highest version of you that you can become by December of 2025? In detail, like what does that person think about consistently? How does that person speak to themselves? Are they kind to themselves? Do they put themselves down? What do they do? How do they talk about other people? Are they constantly talking about others? Or are they focused on ideas, on growth, on development? I know from experience that it all starts in the mind, which is why it's super important for you to take the time to really understand where your mind is at, what your beliefs are about the world, how you talk to yourself. Really take the time to go inside of who you are and what is happening inside of there so that you can start tweaking little things. And when you understand the person that you want to become, you can then see the differences between your mind and your future self's mind. So go in detail. I would even go as far, because I have done this before, into block journaling your thoughts. So what you're going to do is that you are just going to be looking at what's going on inside your mind every hour of the day for at least 3 days to see what beliefs you're operating on, what thoughts you're consistently having. And then when you have a list of those thoughts, what you're going to do is that you're going to flip them into positive thoughts, especially the negative ones, obviously. And once you have a list of those thoughts, the negative thoughts, because if you have awesome thoughts, you're going to keep them. But if you have a lot of negative thoughts consistently, what you're going to do is you're going to flip them. You're going to create affirmations from those negative thoughts. For example, if you're constantly saying, my life sucks, which is something that people casually say all the time, then you're going to say, my life is awesome. Every time you catch yourself saying that, you're just going to say, nope, my life's awesome. Nope, my life is awesome. And little by little, that's how you start reprogramming your mind to be more positive. Affirmations are super powerful in the beginning, and honestly always to keep us in line with the person that we actually want to be, because the mind is very negative and the world is very negative. And if you are not vigilant of what is coming to you consistently, you are going to be absorbing everything that comes to you, and a lot of it is not good. So pay attention to what you consistently say, because your subconscious mind doesn't take a joke and you want your mind to be a sanctuary. So start prepping it, because that is the main way that you're going to change your life this year. For the second step, we're going to focus on your physical habits. Now we're going to start taking action. Like I said, the way that we talk to ourselves really matters. We're going to go back into the habits of the self. It's really important that you start speaking to yourself in a positive way. A lot of people have very negative self-esteem because of the way that they talk to themselves. The voice inside your head is always talking all day long, and you have to make sure that it is kind, that you look at yourself in the mirror and you stop criticizing yourself, that you start saying, I'm beautiful, I'm handsome, I love myself, that you say these things out loud, that when you talk to people, you're not out there spreading negativity, and instead you're talking to people kindly, that you're giving hope to others, that you're taking away fear out of the conversation, that instead you're an uplifting force in the world. You are going to become aware of your words, because your words represent what you carry inside. And you want your words to be a light in this world and to align to the person that you actually want to become. Because I know that most of us want to go toward love, toward peace, toward success. And if our words don't represent any of those, then we are not moving in the direction of our goals. We're going to be moving into the direction of where we don't want to go. So become aware of your words as your first physical habit. Of course, it's really important to talk about our body, because this is our vessel. This is my vessel. You have a vessel. We all have a vessel. And however it may look right now, you need to love it. You need to respect it. You need to acknowledge that this is a gift that you've been given to experience this reality, no matter how you look. If you understand the power of love, self-love can literally make you beautiful. When you start feeding yourself with loving words, with loving affirmations, your body will start to transform and your habits will follow through. I'm sure that this year you probably want to make sure that your body is radiant, that you feel good, that you feel confident. So start aligning your physical habits with that person, with that body that you desire. Make sure that you obviously exercise. And sometimes we think that exercising has to be this difficult, journey, and it doesn't have to be that way. It's all about how you perceive exercise, because exercise is just a moment to honor your body, because the body has a lot of stored energy from the emotions that we have, from the thoughts. And when we move, we allow that energy to move out and it feels good. And you don't have to see exercise as something that has to be mechanical and not fun. Actually, you should have fun when you move. You shouldn't have to follow any program. You don't have to go and do Pilates if you don't want to. Just move, literally. Just have fun in your room. Dance when you're alone. Just literally do jumping jacks. But move, go for a walk. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. But just saying to yourself, I matter enough to move is a huge step toward getting a healthy body and to saying to your body that you love and care for it. I feel like exercise does get a lot of resistance sometimes because, growing up in the 90s, exercise was a way of losing weight. And that is all that it was, to look aesthetically pleasing to the eye. But when you see exercise as a ritual to honor yourself, everything changes. I'm telling you that all you really have to do is at least 5 minutes a day to start. Don't push yourself super hard, but at least start. Commit to 2 minutes a day. Commit to doing 5 jumping jacks. Commit to the bare minimum so that you can actually keep yourself accountable and show up for yourself. And little by little, after you do 5 push-ups or 5 jumping jacks or whatever it is that you commit to, you're going to see that you get energy and you want to keep going. So this year, make sure that you commit to your body and that you commit to consuming things that represent health to you. Don't be super strict in the sense that you can't have your favorite junk food once in a while, because life is all about balance. But make sure that during the week at least you are feeding yourself with the healthiest thing that is available to you. Before I finish this section, I'm also going to talk about expressing yourself, because expressing yourself is a huge part of how you will transform your life in the next few months. And I know that all of us really want to express ourselves freely. All of us want to feel good in our own skin. So what I advise you to do is to start looking at that person that you want to become. Make that vision board. Think about how they look, what they dress, how they feel in their body, and start taking little steps to express yourself like you really genuinely want to express yourself. Because I told you to call out that version of you, because that is something that's inside of you already. Those desires to dress a certain way, to look a certain way, that's all inside of you. And to manifest it, you have to make the choice to own that person, own what they like. You already have those likes within you, so just give yourself permission to wear what you want, to put on the makeup that you want, to wear your hair what you want, like you want, to do the things that you genuinely like to do. Because if you give yourself the permission to express yourself freely, you are aligning yourself quite literally to that person that you want to become. I call it play pretend, like kids do, but really everything is play pretend. We are all putting up a character for other people constantly. And you want to make sure that you're play pretending to be the highest version of you, the most expansive version of you, the freest version of you. And you can do that through your self-expression, because we have this vessel. It is for us to use as we want. And obviously, I say use it respectfully and honor it and love it. And express yourself. Be yourself. Allow yourself, your real self, to shine through your body. Make the decision to say, today I'm going to wear this little accessory that represents me. Today I'm going to wear a shirt that makes me feel like me. And you will be aligning yourself to that energy. Like I said, you align yourself to the energy of your highest self. And little by little, you're just going to become it. When I'm helping someone with a process of transformation, I always say that we are mind, body, and soul. So, of course, the spirit is the third one, connecting to our spiritual side. And this doesn't have to be anything abstract. It just means that you have to connect to who you really are at the core. Who are you authentically as a person? Because I do believe And I feel like from my experience, when I am the happiest, it is because I am honoring who I really am. It's not that I'm trying to become a different person. That really shouldn't be the goal of reinventing yourself by the end of 2025. It should be to express the most authentic and vibrant version of you. You really don't have to pretend to be anyone else. What you really need to do is to unleash the best version of you. And that is why we have been working on calling that version out. Because you really have to get to know that beautiful version of you that is inside of you at all times so that it can guide you through this year and through life. So, one of the habits that you can get into is meditation and journaling and just being more mindful. Meditation may seem like a boring practice because you just think that you have to sit there in silence, but all you're really doing is sort of cleansing yourself of everything that you have acquired from the world so that you can be left with the essence. So let's say that right now you are this, and you go out into the world and you listen to the news, and then you get ideas in your mind. You go to social media, you get all these images in your mind. You go out into the world and people talk to you and they give you anxiety, and you're grabbing all of that, and then you're here, but everything on top of you is blocking you from that essence. So when you meditate, you take a time to be like, is that me? Are those thoughts me? No. Are those emotions me? No. Are those opinions me? No. Then who am I? What do I stand for? What do I value? What are my values? What are my skills? What do I aspire from this life? What do I really crave to feel happy? You have to ask yourself all those questions, and meditation gives you the space to find out who you are. So I encourage you to take up on this practice this year alongside with journaling, because when you journal, your soul just speaks to you. You have to ask yourself important questions. Like I said, who am I? See what comes out of that question, because it's way more abstract than you think. It may feel like you are just this person with this name, with this ethnicity, with these beliefs. But when you take all of that away, what remains? Be aware of the person that you are. Feel comfortable in your own energy, because a good spiritual grounding will make you a light in this world, will make you vibrate at a very high vibration. And I spoke about this in the last video, which was all about how to be magnetic. But if you ground yourself in who you really are, you will be magnetic by the end of 2025. So I encourage you to take up on your spirituality, however you may do it. If you have a religion, go there. If you find spirituality in nature, go there. If you find it meditating, go there. Do whatever it is that fulfills you, but go inside and see what you find so that you can actually feel empowered and authentic, and you can liberate your true voice and your true self this new year. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about the habits of relationships, because we do find ourselves repeatedly going for the same people and the same environments based on the person that we are. So if you want to change yourself, you have to see if your relationships are actually good for you, if the environments that you're constantly going to are good for you. Because a lot of the times we want to be this person, but we keep hanging out with people that don't have any of the same habits that we're trying to have, people that bring us down. We go to environments that are not vibrating at a high vibration. And so we are not really aligning ourselves with the life that we crave and desire for ourselves. And you've probably heard that you pretty much are an accumulation of the 5 people that you're constantly hanging out with. And this makes a lot of sense, because when you're talking to people, you're exchanging ideas, you're having conversations. So ask yourself, are the people I hang out with talking about ideas? Are they inspiring me? Are they giving me love? Are they giving me anything good? Think about the good that these people are bringing to you, because sometimes our conversations could be leaning to gossip. They could be leaning to conversations of complaining, of blaming, of feeling fearful, of disempowerment. And you really don't want to put yourself in these spaces as you are growing. because inevitably you're going to be absorbing all these ideas and they're going against everything that you're trying to build. Also, think about the environments that you're going to, because a lot of environments are not necessarily good for your development. If you find that you want to stop, let's say, drinking so much, and you find yourself going to the club and the bar every weekend, then maybe think about doing something different. Try going to a smoothie cafe, or try changing the activities that you do to actually match with the goals that you have. You have to change your environment and your relationships, and you have to align them with what you actually want out of your life, because it's really important to acknowledge that all of that deeply affects the person that we are. If you find that right now you don't have people that inspire you or people that can help you get to where you want to go, there are books, there are podcasts, there is YouTube, and that is equally as valuable as having people that inspire you in your close circle, because you're constantly absorbing new ideas from these mediums of information. You are getting all the good stuff that you would get from a relationship. In the beginning of my self-development journey, I literally spent so much time reading and listening to podcasts and ingesting new information. And I moved so much faster than if I had done it alone. I know this was a lot of information, but I hope that you remember that you don't have to do everything at once. Just remember, who is it that you want to be by the end of 2025? And what is one thing that you can start doing right now? How can you start aligning yourself in this moment? Because really, this is the only moment that matters, and it is here where you have to remain focused. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it and got something good out of it, I would appreciate if you liked it and you subscribe to my channel. And I will be back again very soon with more videos for you. Bye.